Hi everyone, I'm Pratibha Gajwali from Saheli. Saheli is a domestic abuse project in Manchester. I am working for two different projects. One is Home Office and the other one is Children Project in the Refuge. So the Home Office project is for the women whose no recourse to public law. So we help women who are no recourse to and help them during the difficult times. And as a children project worker, I do deliver activities in our refuge. We have three different refuges in Manchester, and I do children work with them.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to our February session on domestic violence. Today's talk is being delivered by Saheli organization, and they're well known for their. They've been there for years and years. I think for decades. Yeah, 50 years now. Oh wow! So 50 years now. Firstly, because once I have been a victim of domestic violence and I've dealt with it in a very strong manner, and I always wanted to talk about this. So, and we want to tell you that what kind of support is available for women, and what sort of domestic violence can be in various forms and shapes. So we need to know, sometimes we are actually victim of domestic violence and domestic abuse, no violence, I mean abuse in a way, and we do not even realize that. We think it's just normal. हमें ऐसा लगता है कि बिल्कुल नॉर्मल बात है कि एक हस्बैंड वाइफ का रिलेशनशिप है या मैन वुमेन का रिलेशनशिप कि हमारे घर में भाई हैं इट्स फाइन they've got the right to tell us off, they've got the right to shout at us, they've got the right to undermine us. No, it's not right. It is not right. It's not acceptable. So I will not talk much. I will rather let Aisha.
I'm Aisha and I'm working for Saheli since 2020. So as soon as I started, COVID started. So it wasn't me who started COVID. I'm just letting you know. Saheli, as the little bit intro about Saheli was actually founded in 1976. So South Asian women, similar to what your setting is, got together, discussed in 1976 what support is. We're going to be 50 years. So social activists, social women who were sitting together in a coffee morning, in a break, and thinking, what can we do for the women, because they're still struggling. And it was started in 1976. Remember, that is in many generations, many societies, many communities. It's not just Pakistani, Indian communities who are suffering, or we are talking about domestic abuse, domestic violence. It's in every community. Every community have their own ways, and which I will be discussing further when we go into more about domestic abuse. So we thought in 1976 that there is a need for the support of accommodation for South Asian women, because when they moved over, they migrated from Pakistan, India, whichever country they came from, a lot of women were struggling to deal with the abuse they were receiving at home, and there was nowhere for them to go. There was difficulties. Obviously, language is a major barrier. Culture is a huge barrier. As soon as they come over, they're stuck in the houses, they've got no clue, no awareness, and not even got a clue what their rights are as women, what their rights were at that time, and still going through 50 years down the road, we are still trying to get over that hurdle. But we've achieved much, but not so much as what we wanted to achieve. And that's where we are still going out and talking about this, or speaking to different councils and educating the society. The most important thing is education. And sometimes we as women, we educate each other as peers supporting each other. But sometimes in Islam, and our Prophet ﷺ mentioned, the best are those men who are best to their wives. So Islam teaches us this. Society is understanding this, but there is much work to be done. And 50 years, like I said, 50 years down the line, we still got to do a lot of work. So the mission and the vision of Saheli is, I'm going to read it as it is because this is important, this is how it is, and this is who we are. The Saheli's vision is for all women and children to be safe, secure, and feel confident to live independent lives. Okay, that's our vision. That's how we see it. That's how we want to see women and children to be safe and confident and secure. And our mission is, this is how we do it, to provide support and refuge from domestic abuse to women and their children, primarily from the South Asian community, to improve social inclusion, build confidence and skills, achieve emotional and practical well-being, and enabling them to lead independent lives. When it comes to enabling them, that's a huge barrier in itself, and it's a huge step for the women who are actually victims of domestic abuse. So how do we enable them? What we do, we provide refuge accommodation. So Saheli has set up 3 refuge now. South Asian women, black ethnic minoritized women, women who are on no recourse to public funds. These are the women who are on spouse visas and they can't leave the perpetrator. Perpetrators as the abuser for 10 years, because if they leave, they're gonna lose their status. So it's really, really hard. So the refuge accommodation, we've got about 13 beds now, 13 rooms, 13 beds in the three refuge, and the children up to the age of 11. We can't take any children over 11, so it's got to be under and up to 11 years old. We have specialist counselling, so we have counselling services available, because not every counsellor understands what Pakistani culture is, or what Indian culture is, or what Arabic or Muslim culture. Very, very important. You can have normal counsellors from NHS who would be from English background or any other background, but they will not have the understanding of the culture that where you're coming from when you're a domestic abuse victim. Outreach support, so I'm an outreach worker and a training person. So I'll have cases and I'll support my cases in whatever way I need to, depending on individual needs, okay? My colleague is a refuge as well as children's support worker, so she will be supporting according to what is the requirement of that individual if she's got children and what support she needs. Every individual will have their own individual needs. I can't just say everybody's going to do this now, that's it, because this is all what you're going to do. No, we have to work out what your need is and what your need is. You might be just having physical abuse and you might be having sexual abuse. So we'll have to separate the needs. Press it, yeah. So that will be our responsibility to find out what kind of needs. I'm just saying, differentiating between the needs that a person can have. And from there, I'll have to create something that's according to what you require and how I'm going to deal with that. And if I have both of you at the same time, as my case is, I'll be dealing with your case according to your requirement and your case according to your requirement. Could be different areas that I need to touch base, but I have to find all that support from there.
Yeah, we have individual support plans for
Yeah.
each individual woman. We approach in a person centered, so we do according to their experience. We make a support plan and we work on it. It's not like only myself working on it. If Aisha is specialized in few things, so we try to give that case to Aisha. If somebody's specialized in forced marriage, we try to give that case to forced marriage. It's not like, oh, I've got the case, so I have to deal with it. It's nothing like that. We go according to the requirement of the woman.
So we always encourage women to come and volunteer with us, because they learn, they educate others, they educate themselves, they educate others. There is a saying, I love it, that you educate mother, you educate generations. You educate a woman, you educate generations. So basically, we always encourage people to come to volunteer for us, work with us. Aftercare and resettlement, so sometimes we have women who are staying in our refuge for about 2-3 years, and they can't find a house, so they're living in one room with 3 kids in one room, 3 kids, but they're still safe because they know they're safe. and then we provide a resettlement program where they'll go into their own house. We will help them, setting up, probably get some funds to get a washing machine or get them to get some furniture, suppose asking city council to support us just to settle them into there. And now that's a big responsibility, because in refuge they don't have to worry about any bills or anything like that, but when they go into their own houses, they've got to look after, make sure they pay all their bills. This is council tax, their own benefits, their own apartments. They are dealing with it themselves. Sometimes women come, they leave in 6 months, and it's too short time for them to mentally cope with everything what they're dealing with. Because a woman who's fleeing domestic abuse has the trauma that they faced, and to process the trauma and heal from it takes years. You can't expect somebody saying, we get a case in sometimes organizations who are not aware of what they're dealing with. For example, external agencies. They'll send a case and they expect, right, I've just sent a case to them and that's it, my job is done. But they don't understand that case can take from 6 months all the way to 3 years. Just to deal with that particular individual. And that's just one person. We might have to deal with their children as well at the same time. So that case can take all the way until they're settled. I got a call yesterday, and that's one of our ex-service user, and she needs support. 14 years down the line, she was a victim of DV in 2007. So she contacted us yesterday, and she said, you know what, I'm struggling with something right now, can you help me? So group work in the community, so like this kind of setting, usually we don't bring them into only the refuge. Residents can come into the try to protect ourselves. I mentioned it to Farzana ji before. Protecting ourselves is very, very important, because the individuals we are looking after, somebody could find us and hurt me or my family or her family, or locate her. Anything can happen, because sometimes the perpetrators are very angry because they think the woman has brought shame to our community, to my family, to my culture, what she said, what she's discussed about it. It was in-house, now it is out of the four walls. So just because of that anger, and with anger, people can do stupid mistakes, and especially perpetrators. So they'll be either directly hurting that individual who's the survivor, or hurting the people that are supporting her. So it's really, really important. So we don't share our head office address as much. We don't share our refuge addresses as well. We share our PO box. Come and sit down. PO box, we have PO box addresses, so we don't like to share it, even though when the women come in and out of the refuge, we make sure to tell them when they're using Uber or taxis, get them to drop you off at a street away from where you're living, because we don't want them to be located. There was an event in Bradford where this Bengali woman was killed on the street with her baby, so the perpetrator actually went, he located her, he found her, and she was walking on a pram, and he killed her on the spot in the broad daylight. So it's that anger that's within them, that you've left them, or I've left them, or the survivors left them, and that anger, whoever's supporting them, I'm not going to leave them alone. And it's not just one person who's doing all this, it's multiple people. So if the husband or the partner is abusing you, then their families are abusing you at the same time. So they call them multiple perpetrators then. It's not just one person who's involved in the violence, everything else becomes violent. These are very sensitive topics, so at any point you feel like you are affected, you can always take a breather, okay? In any form or any point that, anybody's life, we go through this, or maybe personally we go through these events, that what I'm going to talk about might be happening to you, but you're not understanding it, that it is a form of it. So at any point you feel like you need we can take a break, you can leave the door from that end or that end. I don't know if Farzana, you can explain it to you. Is it that door that you can use, or you can use that door? That door that everyone...
Definitely, straight out.
Straight out, take deep breaths, come back.
Yeah, come back.
So group work in the community, we have settings like similar to this, but we do it, and like I said, not in-house. We try to do it in the community settings, like the libraries, Longside Library, Withington Library, just to make sure that women are not watched. It's an area where it's quite busy, so everybody can go in and out. So that you don't get targeted or thinking, oh, she's going in that office and she's coming out of that office. No, because it's a community area, anybody can go. What we do there, nobody knows. Okay? So it's quite a discreet service, as well as we are out loud as well, telling everybody else, as telling people that we are here to support women. But when we work with the individual women, just to protect them, we keep it discreet from other people. So we only inform the agencies, or we only inform the people who are working with us, other offices, that send the women who are the victim to our service. We will support them. Are you making sure that... Okay. Are you making sure that the door works? If you repeat that, they can go out.
Roxana, you want to mind the door, please? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
You come and stand.
I wanted to...
She's
She's angry with me today. I think I stole her cupcake. She's not sitting with me.
No, it's because if I stand, I can talk. If I sit, I can't talk my mind out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some people like it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't mind, you're a survivor.
Oh yeah.
If you don't mind, she's a survivor.
Rihanna, please, आप अपनी सीट इधर आकर
When she comes out of her own house, she is leaving everything behind her. She doesn't know how to pay council tax, and she doesn't know how to top up her own phone because she was so dependent on her husband. So the group works is designed in such a way that they they become very independent in doing such things. Like Aisha's done some budgeting programs with them, like how to pay the bills and how you have to budget yourself every month because while they were with their partners, they don't know how to do all these things because they don't know how much is incoming and how much is outgoing because she was never given a chance to take the responsibility of it. So during the group works, we do like these kind of activities as well, like budgeting, and we
Confidence building,
confidence
we do
building.
English classes, we do art classes just to help with their mental health. We play games, okay? We do dress ups, we bake. So we do in activities in a way we're building their confidence, we're providing that peer support because they've left everybody from home. Their families probably don't want to see them ever again. The mom and dad don't want to see them.
Yeah.
They've lost everything basically.
And
So-
we basically think that there's no right support there, but you just have to knock the right door to get that support.
Yeah.
Because being myself a survivor, I didn't know like what abuse is because we know our Asian families, we don't accept easily when your husband does something to you. We think that that's how a marriage is. That that's
Yeah.
how a partner is. You have to bear it. But when it comes to reality, it's not. You can bear up to certain extent. As a woman, we do bear. Most of us we do bear, but when you knock the right door, you get really good help. So it's you coming out and speaking about your abuse. Go and seek some help because we think that there is no support, but there's a lot of support for women. Because I've been experienced it. I thought there is no support. We think that police don't do help us because he is Brit. Maybe he doesn't know what's going on in the family. He just thinks, okay, arrest the person, go and done and dusted. And coming to social workers as well, we are so scared that they'll take our children away. But that's not the case because most of the cases what we get is like they are worried about their children more than husbands. Because when they have children, we just think like, okay, he's going to take my husband. We don't think about husband much when it happens in the family. We think about our children. So when social workers are involved, that's where we think a lot about, they're going to take our children away. But there is nothing like that. They'll not take your children away because I was put up such a kind of thing in my head during my difficult times that if I say something out, my child will go away. Because he is now 5 years old, but I'm thank God I came out of it thinking that okay, I'm doing something for my son. okay, I've done a good decision of coming out of my abuse. But down the line, if you think that, okay, the support, if you get a right support from right organization, then you will come out flying, with flying colors. Like Saheli has been really helpful for a lot of women, not just me. There have been really lot of help with a lot of women. Like now we deal with so many cases every single day. At least we get 10 cases in a day. Too much actually. We have to see in future years that we don't get, of course it's our job, but still we just think that, okay, there should be no abuse and nobody should seek our help. That's our main motto, like, nobody should seek our help because there should be no abuse. There should be, we should be free from abuse.
Thank you, Prati. Okay.
It's like empowering other women, not me going into that trauma. So
Because we can't go back.
Yeah, because there's. Thank you. Because yesterday itself I've seen a video. Like there is past, there is present, there is future. In the present itself, you can think about past. In the present itself, you can think about future. So it's you have to think what you need. So me, I think about my future in the present as well. So present is more important, and we need to think a lot in the present for your future. Don't think about your past. So it's present is your important.
Where you are right now, think about what you're going to do next.
Yeah.
Don't go back. That door. No, that door or that door. You decide. So this is outreach support. So sessions, we make sure these women are educated. Some women are not even educated, bless them. And they never even got an opportunity to actually learn to use their phones or online forms or anything like that. So we digitize them as well. It takes a little bit of time because obviously English is not their first language, so language barrier straight away, educational barrier, because some women have not even given opportunity to go to school back home in Pakistan or in India. So they'll come out like Kora Kagas basically, okay, who have no idea what they do with, bless them. And they are the sweetest women you'd see. They are so sweet, it's unbelievable. And it happens to the ones who are really, really nice and kind. It happens to all those women who are really kind, who are really nice, and then people can just walk all over them. That's what happens, isn't it? When you're too nice, too kind, you just get bulldozer over yourselves until you realize, oh my God, 18 years down the line, I wish I'd known this 15 years ago. Why didn't I do then? Why am I doing this now? Because they didn't know what they were doing. The children got older, they educated their mom, this is not right, this is what we told in school. This is what's happening. A lot of women who are in their 60s, 30s, after 30s, the 30 ladies are aware of it, who are born and brought up here. But the women who are 40, 50, 60s, came from back home, only realizing now 20 years down the line, oh my God, I'm a victim of domestic abuse. He's mentally abusing me, physically abusing me, beating me up, slapping me, pulling my hair. He said, oh my God, this is a form of domestic abuse. And I've been a victim for so many years. And sometimes it's not just physical that you think is just a punch that's come on your face or a bruise or a physical sign that you're showing you're a victim of abuse. It's mental. Can't wear this, can't go there, can't meet them, can't talk to them, can't speak to your family, can't see your brother, can't go out after 9. This is all part of control. Can't have more than, why do you want £50 for? Oh, I just want to buy something for myself. No, you don't need it. Why do you need £50? It's a waste of money. Why did you buy a new pair of shoes? Already I've got about 100 in there, but I wanted to. No, you can't have it. We've got cases where women were actually weighed. I'm going to run the video and you can see it. This perpetrator will weigh her before he goes to work. And then he'll come home and he'll weigh her again. Right? कितना खाना खाया?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Can I just say something, please? All the time I'm thinking, what is being done for those men? What is being done? Because they need help.
I'm going to come back
There must
onto
be a
that.
reason why they're like
When we do Q&A, then we'll discuss about it. So this girl will get weighed in the morning and in the evening. अगर हवा भी खा ली या पानी भी पी लिया ना, she's done. He'll beat her. That's it. That's
how
how
long did she last there?
she'll tell you her story. I'm going to show you a video. I'm going to share it with all of you, so she'll tell you. So she escaped. How she escaped? That's her own story. But that trauma stays with her. Anything that happens, she sees somebody malnutritioned, she'll say, "Oh my God, I hope I'm not there." You know. But she's happy she's out of that. Then you have girls who. I'm dealing with a case. She's 19 when she got married. She's only 19. Actually, she escaped with DV. 19-year-old. She was sexually abused, physically abused, modern slavery, immigration abuse. Not educated, just one girl, 18 years old, got married, moved over to here, so that immigration abuse straight away. Sister-in-laws take her to do cleaning, washing their houses, right? Loaded people. She is from very poor family.
First thing she said to us after leaving the abuse is, "I'm eating whatever I want to now." That's really sad. Like, food is basic.
Yeah. That's what it is. And her dad, her dad passed away last week. She couldn't go to Pakistan. That's how bad it was. He was on deathbed with cancer. Her mom's ill now, so she's my case, one of my cases.
And she cooks amazing now. Really amazing.
Yeah,
She's a volunteer now with Saheli.
She said to me that my husband used to come home and he used to come very late in the morning. So if I fall asleep, I have to stay awake for him to come home so I can open the door. And if I don't stay awake, once I fell asleep and he somehow got into the house and I fell asleep on the sofa waiting for him. She's only a baby, she's only 17, 18, years, come on. And she said he pulled me off with my hair, pulled me and dragged me to the door. That's how bad it was. Yeah. And then whenever he wants to, he'll give me a tablet. For me, forcefully take a tablet. Like I said, if it affects you, please take a break. He'll force me with a tablet, and then when I come to my senses, I'll find myself on the floor naked. So I don't know who's been abusing me sexually, whether it was my husband or anybody else. I've got no idea. Because maybe you, basically. Or abuse ka ye haal hai, she's turning 20. और अब 1 साल हो गया she's left and she's living in a refuge and she goes बाजी मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि when she's living somewhere else and she was saying it to me yesterday, she goes, when I hear the footsteps, अभी मैं refuge में रह रही हूँ, when I hear the footsteps मुझे ऐसा लगता है वो पहुँच आया and he's gonna do something to me and मेरी टांगें कांपने लग जाती हैं and she wets herself बेचारी इतनी डर चुकी है. And when she came, she was doctors को उन्होंने नहीं उसको जाने दिया, GPs के पास नहीं जाने दिया, स्कूल में पढ़ नहीं सकती थी. And I said to her, she never got the education, so उसको alphabets नहीं आते थे, numbers भी नहीं आते थे. तो 2 weeks ago she goes, Baji, I know how to write ABCD now. And look at this list. She's only 19. Honest to God, what she's gone through, what she expected a married life would be, is not what she expected. She came over on a spouse visa. And she was treated as she was human trafficking hogi thi uske saath. Sexual abuse, rape.
Has he been reported, her husband?
Sorry. No, this case is going on. Obviously, it doesn't just happen straight
You
away.
shouldn't get away with this.
Yeah, because the police is again.
Because there is a law in Pakistan now, you have to pass the English test. So if she's 18 and recently been reported as a fake document or something.
उसको तो नहीं वो A1 है ना पाकिस्तान में जो A1 टेस्ट आप कर रही हैं 10 से English language है LTB test something like that. So it's around that time. Very, very, very. These are that's just one person. अब उसकी आगे की life कैसे हुई? She goes, I want to do social work, I want to do this, but she cries whenever she rings me. She's so stressed out. कि अभी मुझे फोन किया अम्मी जो है ना अब फोत हो गई 4 days ago and my mom's in hospital and I can't see my dad, I can't see my mom because उसका वीज़ा का इशू है because अभी nationality के लिए हमने उसका अप्लाई किया. Reason for that is so she's secure in Pakistan. She goes and visits. Once she becomes British, then the British consulate can look after her. The council, British council, because of her nationality. And if we send her as Pakistani, we might lose her. Because उनके वो जानते हैं ना पाकिस्तान में भी उसको मार भी सकते हैं. So hard. तो वो जितना रोती है, I know that. पर मैं उसको तसल्ली देती. She's only a baby. I'm so sorry. I feel, it does. We do get affected emotionally with them, but then again, we have to stay strong, because if we don't stay strong, we can't help.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's only certain women, I wouldn't say we are the best, but there are only certain people who are passionate about helping, supporting women in a way that sometimes we put ourselves on the firing line.
Yeah.
We fight for them. But when we say we fight for them, we actually do. We go and challenge the police. Because sometimes the police says the women are just telling us the story, but they don't believe, especially South Asians.
Yeah, maybe for immigration or can be anything. They just say.
She sits down on the police commissioning board, and she actually says that you need to take what the woman is telling you. You need to take it seriously and take action on it instead of it becoming a homicide. And it's happened in the past. If you look at some news in the past, type in UK homicides, you'll see it. Because the steps weren't taken initially to protect and safeguard that woman, it turned into a murder scene. And it has happened. Even £600, £400 goes away, they've got left with 200, what are they going to do? So we've got to really, really make them to educate themselves, digitize English, speaking and reading, writing, and spelled on the mental health at the same time. So the group work could be the sewing, just for them to learn something. So we have women who have got their own businesses now, alteration. So they are altering people's clothes and making some money on this. Because financially, they've always been dependent on their partners. But now, and that's the main reason women don't leave. Because they don't know, खाएंगे कहाँ से, कमाएंगे कहाँ से, रहेंगे कहाँ. You understand? That's the issue. बच्चों को कौन देगा? क्या होगा जब बड़े होंगे, शादियां कोई नहीं करेगा, बिकॉज वो कहेंगे मियाँ बीवी की तलाक हो गई है, तलाक याफ्ता के बच्चों के साथ है. But nowadays the mindset is changing, which is great. Single women can get their daughters and sons married. A lot of the girls don't come out to domestic abuse because they think मैं यहाँ से आ जाऊँगी तो what's going to happen to my siblings, मेरे बहन भाइयों के साथ क्या होगा, उनको कोई पूछेगा ही नहीं. वो कहेंगे और इनकी बहन भाग गई थी, बाकी भी भाग जाएंगे. इससे शादी ना हो. So it just put that problem on that family. So like financial skills we teach them, digital skills, sewing, very very वो बहुत खुश होती है. सब stitching करने में दौड़े दौड़े आते हैं सारे. They love it. Because it's really entertaining as well as they're learning something. I have explained so much about domestic abuse, but I wanted to know what you know, what a domestic abuse is. So I'm opening the floor to you, and then we can discuss about it in details. So, what types of domestic abuse is out there? Anyone?
They control you in a way that you're unaware of it. So they're very controlling. It could be with the children, it could be with the wife.
My
I've got a loud voice.
Yeah.
I've got a very loud voice.
Any other way? Any other thoughts? I've explained it really thoroughly at the beginning.
Obviously, there is mental abuse. There is mental abuse.
Physical,
Financial abuse, sexual abuse, the top one, because our women's never talk about that. How they can tell what he asking me to do, and the language barrier and the shyness because of our religion, culture.
Absolutely.
Top is the sexual is.
Ladies, please take turns to speak. Don't speak over each other. So, you want to say something? Go.
Actually, it's not that. When you got married, it's thing you have to listen to all the mother-in-laws, sister-in-laws, and it's like a tennis court. Go and ask your husband. Husband say no. Go and ask my mother. Mother say no.
Yeah.
You are like a tennis ball, honest to God. I know few people, so the girls, that's what they've been through, and it's like a mental torture. They make them work all the day, right? But, when it comes to get the money, they won't pay them. It's like the family businesses and things like that. And then, raising the kids up. It's like if some women want to take a step, but it's go against, especially when it's all the family involved. The in-laws I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So it's
this
like
is where-
more like a physical abuse, it's more like a mental abuse, you know.
Yeah, this is where I
rather
want
than
to ask the
physical.
question, like what she asked, like why do you think the men do this? Like why do you think?
Why
the
do you
men
think men do
do
this?
this? Like they go and ask their mother
Yes,
to give permission.
exactly,
So
that's
I
what
want
I'm
to
going
ask
to
that
say.
question to you now.
क्यों
Like,
मर्द कहते हैं कि मेरी माँ से जाके इजाजत लो?
इसलिए क्योंकि you know they brought up in that type of atmosphere, you know, the mahal affects, affects everything. You know, when my son was getting married, I told him straight away, listen, if you want to get married, your wife is your responsibility. If you can take the responsibility, then go ahead, I don't mind. But don't say that, no, I haven't got the work. It's so holy, even in Islam, it's husband's responsibility to take care of the wife and the kids. So if every woman have to think that way, you don't have got any, problems or family issues or abuse, because when your kids brought up like this, with an open mind, then there is no problem for the newcomer's wife. I don't think so.
I wish we all get mother-in-laws like you.
Honestly, I'm not like, and that's the way I am actually.
All the women.
You know, when my son got married, and I keep on asking my son, I'm going to buy the new house for the 4-bedroom. And he keeps on saying, yes, mom, it's okay, it's okay. I called my daughter-in-law, and I said, you want to live with us? She said, no, auntie. When we were getting married, Omer committed to me that we were going to live separate. I said, fine, that's fine. Now they come once a week to my house, on Saturday or Friday, we have a dinner together and have a good time. Even sometimes if she don't come, I never ever ask my son why she's not here. It's their life, let them live.
Absolutely.
That's my, honest to God, that's my motive to say that things live and let live. I mean, if we all got the same mentality, so nobody's going to have the problem. I know they have got chote-mote problems. Every, wife and husband have got a problem. But if there is no involvement of the family, they'll sort it out. Exactly.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Thank you.
Thank you. So it's very positive. Very positive.
I want to add something to it. I want to add that men, especially in our culture, are not educated, or they don't have the awareness of their rights, how they should behave with their wife. They are always taught to listen to their parents, obey their parents. You will go to paradise if you look after your parents. Everything about parents, siblings, family. But what he is supposed to do for his wife, that is never been taught.
Exactly.
And that's the reason he doesn't know what to do when the wife comes in his life. He thinks that still mom is important, or dad, you need to go and speak to them. Like, just go and talk to them, ask my mom. He doesn't know that he is now the main person who's responsible for the wife. So I think men should be having that awareness. They should be given more of these classes to educate them, because I think women know more in our culture than men do. And because they don't know, we can't blame them that it's their fault. By the time they realize, then they will stand for their wife.
Absolutely.
That's a really good point. Thank you very much.
Men have to balance it. Even if they don't know anything about, they know that she's coming for me, right? It's not that they know what to do. I've seen some men, they're so balanced in between wife and mother. They're living together. It's just the mental, mentality and the brought up. That's two things happen, that's two things matters to the man. But if he's nice and balanced, he can balance in between wife and
Well, I think
in-laws.
we should educate them,
Yes.
because men and
We
women
can
are
change
different
over children.
in their mindset. Women automatically picks up things in life. She understands. She has the sixth sense given by Allah, but men doesn't have that. So we need to educate them more than women.
Yeah, we did the session with the men as well. Like my, I think
We did
Pia
Muslim
was
Heritage
there.
Center. We
Yes.
ran a session with
Yeah,
them.
with the men as well.
It's quite difficult.
Is it?
Yes.
God.
Very difficult.
They have a lot of excuses for that. They give a lot of excuses. Oh, we can't do that. We can't.
But some men are quite good actually. When we were running this in Muslim Heritage Center, they were quite good. They were quite the ones who came forward. Victims of immigration abuse. They have been victims of financial abuse. They have been victims of coercive control.
Yeah.
So sexually, I'm not too sure. Okay, but they've been victims of everything else. Okay?
That's a good one.
I'm not sure about that because I haven't come forward with that.
Let's hope.
But there is violence against gender, men and women. In the society we are living, a lot of men and women and young girls and boys have been sexually abused, raped, without knowing. Without knowing. Without knowing means giving a consent.
Yes.
If I'm giving you a cup of tea, this is an example, and you say, I don't want a cup of tea, but I'm still giving it to you, and you're still saying no, but still I'm pouring the water in the cup because I want you to have that cup. It's filling up and overflowing, but you still don't want it.
It's like if you say no to your husband straight away.
That's it. So means you said to me you don't want the cup of tea, but I'm still giving it to you, and I'm still pouring water in it, and I'm still filling it. But you, every single step, you're telling me no, 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 and I filled it up as well, and it's overflow because I'm not listening to it. You've not given me permission. Consent means you've not given me permission. Saying that I can serve you a tea and give you a tea and fill the cup and give it to you and you can drink it. You don't want it in the first place. Why are you doing it? Why are you giving it to me? So that's consent. That's the permission. Sometimes we're tired, not interested.
Okay, I would just like to ask a question: how to deal in a situation when a woman has left the abuse and she's dealt with it. She's single now, she's divorced now, fair enough. But then her own family, her own brothers, they try to control her because she's single. So they actually replace the husband. This happens very often. So how would you deal with that?
Just say shut up and get lost.
No, it's about setting boundaries. I would say setting boundaries, and you got to be very firm, very strong to deal with a situation like that. But so I'll let just.
So a lot of times there are girls who have to run away from the house because they've dealt with their husbands, they've come home thinking their parents and siblings will look after them. Now they've brought shame to the family. Now they're going to get even more controlled. Okay. So the shame to the family, shame to the community, you're home, it feels like a burden. So she's already left him. A lot of girls have actually run away, to be honest with you. I'm really sorry to say this. It's so sad.
No, but even if a woman is living independently on her own, with her own children and her own roots, she's not sharing anything with her own maternal family.
That is so bad because that family is not educated. That family is worried about their own status without thinking about that young woman who suffered so much and the children have suffered so much and they needed so much support. They're not even thinking about that because they're being selfish at the moment. They're just thinking about themselves. If they're not giving support, a lot of girls have left. They've left their families. They've finished the ties with them. And Islam doesn't teach you to finish your ties. You can't leave the kinship. Rasulullah said, you can't leave your relatives.
Yeah, when the situation what you said, that's why we Saheli or different organizations step in to empower that woman, to let her know what's good for her and what's not good for her.
Yeah, that's
Like,
another form of
for
control.
example, you go to a showroom and you wear the clothes which you like. You don't wear the clothes which you don't like. So when you're so picky on your own clothes, which will not last with you forever, how do you think, there might be a situation where she left her husband, she's back to the family, and again family is abusing her, so she'll have to go and knock the right door. That's where Saheli or other organizations are there to help you out. So you have to think about yourself first before you think about your own children.
Well, when it comes to families, family needs education. They need relationships with our close ones because we families don't even know. We just bring the religion in, we bring the culture in, we bring all those things just to support what we are trying to say or control that person. But we don't even think about that individual, what the individual is going through. So like I said, we're going to be 50 years old and we still find it struggling to educate and create awareness, and it's so hard. We're a women's charity, and we deal with so much of backlash and misogyny. You wouldn't believe it. But still, we don't stop. We carry on.
I heard this saying in Urdu. Somebody said to me, I mean, I've heard it from various people, कि जिस औरत का कोई खामन नहीं होता ना, you know, about single women, हर बंदा उसकी खामन बनने की कोशिश करता है. Not in a wrong way, that everyone tries to control you.
But they always say that, but this is wrong.
No, but they do try. They do try. They do try to control you. Your family tries to control you. Your brothers try to control you. Even external people, you know, they remind you that you're single. Okay, so we can tell no, you cannot.
Can I just add up, because abuse is not only the men, like a husband. It can be from dad, from brothers, so they all men.
Yes.
So
That's what I'm saying. And sometimes, sorry for that, is multiple perpetrators.
Yes.
That means could be your sister-in-law, could be another woman abusing you, not just men as well.
Yeah.
Could be sister-in-law, could be mother-in-law, could be your own brother, could be your own dad, could be your own mother.
Can it be also be, you know, your children?
Yes.
Some girls are, you know, nowadays are very, girls are, they just don't listen to their parents, some of them.
No,
And then their sons are even worse, some of them.
absolutely.
And so it can be from children as well. And there's one more question I wanted to ask you. You know, when somebody goes into refuge, they can only take up to 11-year-old.
Yeah.
Now, a mother is not going to leave a 12-year-old behind if she's going to leave her home. So what happens to those, just in case there is older children?
We did have a case, didn't we?
Yeah,
Where
we do have other refuges where they take
where they
mothers who
take
are
children and different. So we tend not to separate families because we're not social workers and we're not children's services.
Yeah.
We will put children in foster care and separate the parents and the mom. We tend not to. So if she's got more children and not got any other support, like we've had an Egyptian girl and she's got 6 kids. 4 of them older than 11 and the 2 younger than 11, so she had nowhere else to go. She's recently housed now, isn't she? She's got a house now.
Yeah.
So what she did was, her mum was very supportive, so she kept the 4 kids at night time to sleep at her house, her mum's house, but other days she could keep the 2 kids who were too younger than her because they were in the high schools and leaving the GCSEs and everything, so it's really hard to manage it. But alhamdulillah, her mum was there to support her in that matter.
If mom is not there, then we have different refuges.
Different
where we
refuge.
take children, or we would ask council to give them a house.
Temporary.
Social workers involved, adult social workers and children social workers. So we ask them to put them in a different hotels or, you know, Airbnbs where they fund for them.
Or find temporary accommodations. Nowadays houses are really difficult, so they are putting families in single bedroom hotels, single rooms hotels as well. But we tend not to get separating the family, especially mother who's fleeing domestic abuse, and the last thing you can do is take their child away. Oh my God, you can never do that. You know, bringing their kids from wherever they are, and you know, putting them in their mouth, and no matter how many times they drop, they pick up the little kittens and they take them to their house. They don't even leave them. Ma.
One more question. You know, your counseling, is it just for people who are in refuge, or can it be accessed by other people who may need?
Yeah, so do you know sometimes you ask your GP to put you to talking therapies and they put you through to that, and sometimes the talking therapies are not working. So we are providing the emotional support for women who are the victim of domestic abuse or who are the survivor from domestic abuse. But and that's our priority first of all, because they need the most. Yeah.
Okay.
But if anybody who's a victim of domestic abuse or who is still living in the same relationship and comes to us and say, right, look, I'm still living with my husband, he is abusive, I don't want to leave him right now, but I do need some emotional support. Can you help us? Then we can set you up. Okay? Because there are women who are still living, and that's called Freedom Program. That's what we run, the Freedom Program as well. We educate and make the women understand what it is, what are the signs that you look for, you know, how to find that whether you're being controlled, whether that person's an abuser, whether that person is a narcissist, whether that person is a dominator, whether that person is the king of the castle, you know. That's a separate program that we run over 12 weeks. City Council runs it as well.
Yeah, we do have counselling support. If you want to refer yourself, you can do.
You can refer yourself. Come into Saheli's organised. You can do it online. You can call us, do it online, or send an email. Come and join us. There are some chairs over there, I think. And there's a chair. You can take the chair. So you can self-refer. Okay, I'm going to talk about this towards the other side. So there's emotional abuse, psychological abuse, coercive control, where you mentioned sexual abuse, modern slavery, financial abuse, physical abuse, digital abuse, immigration abuse, which is visa, spouse visa, modern slavery, trafficking. So these are all types of abuse. I'm going to go quickly on this as well, because I would like to open the floor for all of you to discuss as well. We haven't got much time. We've got till 1 o'clock, haven't we? So I'm not going to... I would like to come back again for, because DV, when Farzana mentioned to me, I said, well, it's not a small area to discuss. You're opening a can of worms when it comes to DV, because there's so much to go through.
Sorry, Aisha, I was stuck there. You can call on our helpline, or you can just send an email to info@saheli. People who are going through abuse, we'll definitely put them on the counselling. We have in-house counselling as well, where you need to come to our office and take counselling. But there is bit waiting list, but sure you will get your turn to be seen.
So there is online counselling, or is it just in-house?
No.
You can have face-to-face.
You can have face-to-face, or you can have over the phone.
Over
if
the
you
phone.
do not want to be seen or identified who you are, the only details we need from you is your name, your address, your contact number, and an email address. Because when we refer you to the counsellor, they need to contact you with your name. You know, so you don't have, if you don't feel comfortable to be face to face and be known, you want to stay anonymous, you can have over the phone counselling.
So the face to face. It depends where are your offices.
We are more slightly near. We're in Old Trafford.
Okay.
Yeah. We're an
We'll
old
share
couple.
address with you, and we will take a confidentiality.
And even if you don't want to come to the office and you want to see the counsellor in a coffee shop, you can meet the counsellor there. It's between you and the counsellor, whichever setting is easier for you. So if you are going through abuse and you think you can't leave the partner, but you need some emotional support to talk about it, find some areas how to manage the stress or the anxiety or the panic, the counsellor will get in touch with you. You can self-refer yourselves. I'm going to share the details going down in further slides. And I'll share it with Farzana as well. If she's got a group with you, she can share it with you on the group. Also, I do have these little sheets where these are perforated numbers. So keep them in your purses. Nobody knows what these numbers are for. And even if you type it on Google, you can't find who's this number for. So just put in your little phones or the cases. And if you need any support, just give us a call. We're always on helpline. We can take a call.
Sorry, can I also ask you, is your organisation funded, or is it...
We have to go to multiple funders to get the funding, because it's very, very hard to run refuge on no money. You have to, we've got to go to city councils to ask for money. We have to go to different funding bodies to ask for money. So we're always looking for money. Britannia Hotel costed us £1,500. 2 girls, single bedrooms for 1 week. So we always have the crisis fund where people can donate.
Maybe you can ask people to share a room if they have a spare room,
It's the safety of the care. We can't do that. I'm very, we cannot go anywhere.
Yeah, I understand.
It's so much hard for that person, whoever house you're going to share, it's so much responsibility. For example, you're sharing a room with somebody, so much responsibility on you. Safeguarding.
That's where it started in 1976. That one of our board members. That's how it started.
That's how it started. What you said.
But it was really not safe for her. She's been attacked a few times, and later on, all the policies and everything came in, and then we have to really look into such things. Even our address we can't share to even our family members. We don't share our office address.
Nobody knows where we work. So we work somewhere where nobody knows. Not even our families.
Definitely both people are in danger as well.
Exactly.
The person who is suffering and the other person who is...
That's what when Farzana said, I wanted to interview, and I'm going to take, we're going to put you on YouTube, and I said, you've got to be really careful, because it's not about, it's my identity and the safety of me, so I've got to make her safe.
Yes.
Because for me, I've got kids, and I've got a partner, or extended family, and the people I work with, see with. Anybody can just, anything can happen. So we've got to make sure we are safe. Where we work, where we do, where we go. Nobody knows. It's like a secret work we do.
That's the reason I
But it's such a shame that we have to hide
Hide
it.
ourselves.
That's not good, actually, isn't
Because
it?
sometimes the people show their anger through that. Oh, these are the people who misguide
Yeah.
our women. Okay, let's see. So they will do anything but randomly. You don't know who.
But it's sad, isn't
It
it?
is very sad,
sad.
because they don't want to accept this thing. We are wrong. Yeah, that's what they don't want to admit it.
Anonymous lie, basically.
And it's very difficult to finish that.
They don't like social workers at all.
We keep on talking about them.
That's why we want to be like a voting. Hame छुपा के रखे.
CID. No, because I had an experience like, I went with one of my friends. She was a social worker. And when we went to that poor lady door, her mother-in-law came out and she had a hot water kettle in her hand. And she said, I'm going to throw hot water on you girls. Get out from my house and keep away from my daughter-in-law.
Oh my God. So obviously I know. तो उस लेडी की मैंने हेल्प कर दी, उसके खामन ने जो मेरा हाल किया था कि मैं कभी जिंदगी में नहीं करने लगी किसी की हेल्प.
ऐसा ही होता है. हम जिनको भी कॉन्फिडेंस देते हैं वो सारा एरिया में हम बदनाम हो जाते हैं. बट वी डू, क्योंकि ये नेचर होती है. You support someone.
So that's your side of support, which is amazing. What's the legal help available? Do you prosecute the perpetrators?
Of course they get prosecuted. This is the UK Home Office definition of domestic abuse. Any incident or pattern of incidents of controlling, coercive, threatening behaviour, violence or abuse between those aged 16 or over who are or have been intimate partners or family members, regardless of gender or sexuality. The abuse can encompass, but is not limited to psychological, physical, sexual, financial, emotional, includes controlling behavior and coercive control, forced marriages, honor-based violence, both honor-based killing hoti hai, female genital mutilation. So Home Office is saying they accept that domestic abuse happen, and it happens in all these forms. People get the perpetrators get prosecuted.
We are not legally trained, but we work with few solicitors. We take their help to prosecute these perpetrators.
At this point, we've got a lawyer in the room.
Oh, have we?
Family lawyer.
Bushra Anwar, Mrs. Bushra Anwar. So would you like to say something? What sort of help is available? Legal help? Please take the mic.
I do feel that generally people have a habit of doing whatever they can do if they can get away with it. So they will only do it if they can get away with it. Rights and are willing to stand up. We have all the support we can possibly want in this country. What will happen is that the other person will then feel threatened, like any bully. If you stand up to them, they will stop that abuse. I mean, our aim isn't to take everybody out of their families. Their aim is to try to control the situation. So that is one way of, we need to educate them in that section as well. Otherwise, I mean, these people are wonderful. This kind of support is what is needed by people who are feeling threatened. And it's not just vulnerable people that are subjected to domestic abuse. If you look at the statistics, there is a lot of people who are professionals who are actually subjected to domestic abuse. Now, probably more mental on that side, and even physical, but that's probably because men feel a complex. Successful women create a complex with men. So after the marriage, it becomes a massive problem because they have to control that woman. They have to put her below themselves. And that is one of the difficulties that we have in finding rishtes for people as well, because we have to find them equal or above for a girl. If you don't, you're asking for a disaster. And it's just a matter of time. So therefore, one of the things, I used to laugh and I used to say, we need to teach all the women self-defense. When somebody knows that somebody's going to throw them across the room, I don't think they're going to hit them. Right? So that's one way of looking at it. But the other way, basically, it's a bully. And if they're going to bully and they get away with it, they're going to do it again and again and again. You have to nip it in the bud. And I think one of the examples would be that you should, first of all, immediately call the police. And then he knows never to cross that boundary. I mean, if you become injured, ill, do your back in, do your face in, do your mental injury, it's not going to help you or your family or your children. There's no point in taking the abuse, especially in this country. In Pakistan, they used to have, and in other countries, they used to have brothers. In this country, we have the police. So all you have to do is make one phone call. You don't have to press charges first time, but if you tell them, if you call the police, he knows you'll do it. And if you tell him next time, I will press charges, he might just sort himself out. I can give you a very good example. I had a client about 20, 30 years ago, and she was subjected to bruises all the time. She would come and tell me. So I got fed up one day and I said, I'm going to get an injunction for you. So I got an injunction sorted out. He breached an injunction. Then what happened is we then had to apply for enforcement of the injunction. I sent him to prison. He went to prison for 3 or 4 months, came back. Then I didn't see her for a while, and a good 10, 15 years passed. Then I met her again when I was campaigning. I was in politics then. And she comes to me, and they both came together, ever so happy. Wow. And she said he never was violent to me again after he came back from prison.
That's very good.
Basically, he knew that she knew what she was doing, and she'd send him back again. So he realised what could happen to him. And it's like I said, a bully will only be a bully if he knows he's not going to get any repercussions.
Yeah.
You need to stand up for your rights. I know it's scary because you think you call the police, it'll be over. But do you really want to stay in that? You want it, the system, the circumstances to change. You have to create that change. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think I've got both of them now. Pass it back on to you. I'm going to run a quick video for all of you. Just bear me one.
And mashallah, it's us women who are responsible for the household things. So start at this point. No, okay. Oh, has to okay. So I just want to say, can you just start to decluttering your houses? And then there are double things, there are 3 things. For sometimes, things are just tucked away in your garage or in your store. You haven't even used for ages. Go home, declutter your life from there. And then maybe these people you can help out for these, and there are many other charities around.
What kind of things?
Food banks.
I don't know. I'll ask this lady. But for example, if I speak for myself, I've just went through my garage and I've had like pots and pans I don't even need, and they've been just packed away. So if you don't need them, firstly ask your relatives. Not that they need them because they're poor.
It would be a good idea to have a list. Because they don't want double of...
No, that's obviously, this is why I'm asking her, how can we volunteer?
I've got loads of family to feed.
Yeah.
Double, they can...
Yeah, so this is one way of volunteering, to give out, share your things you have in your houses, time-wise. Personally, I have time, I can volunteer.
Their volume. Put their volume. Is there volume there? No.
There should be.
Maybe the lights need
Yeah. Turn up
Can I turn the volume off? Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Right. Again, if you get affected at any point, please take a breather. That way. Put it up, yeah? Right, okay.
I would be so hungry, I would eat scraps from the kitchen bin, and if I put any weight on, I would be in trouble. Good morning, Saheli, can I help? And when the police comes around to your house, and could you please explain your situation?
On average, we receive over 5,000 calls every year. This year, the number has gone considerably higher because of the lockdown. When women come to us, they lack self-confidence and self-esteem. They think they are to blame. In our communities, often people don't accept domestic abuse exists. But when you look at our wall of dedication and you see how many number of women get killed every year, and how many women lose their lives, you realize the extent of this problem.
when I was pregnant again with 4 months. He hit my tummy where I was bleeding and I had to go to hospital. And when I went to hospital, I didn't disclose this thing to my doctor as well. He used to hit me. I've been in hospital 3 times, I guess. One, he hit me on the wall, on back. It was severe pain for 2 days. Then I have to go for my X-ray, but I didn't disclose to the doctor again.
I was so scared. He tortured me and made me feel worthless. Without this charity, I never would have turned my life around. I've achieved a lot. I've learned English, I got counselling, and I've also started to help other women like me. It's never too late to get help.
Okay, so that was over 8,000 calls we receive now. Over 8,000 calls that we receive on a yearly basis now. And we support women.
A year.
Oh yeah. A year.
A year.
Over 8,000 calls. 8.5. That's the calls that we receive now. And we're on YouTube as well. So just bear me one moment. Let me just go back onto my slide.
The situation getting any better with the younger generation? Do you think are they less, or is it just the same? And with the older? Yeah, so with the older generation, obviously there was lots of things like family honour, cultural pressure, parents were more concerned about what. But with the younger generation, times are different, you've got social media, a lot more awareness. Is it getting better? Is the situation getting better, or is it just the same? Are things being aggravated by social media?
Still, social media is great to use, but then again, there's positivity and negativity around it as well. So there is awareness out there if you go in the right direction. There is support out there. Women and girls, sometimes it's mixed, because sometimes the girls want men to control them. It's strange. Young girls, they actually say, because they don't know that's domestic abuse. They think the person's caring for them because he's controlling in a way. Like, don't.
I think there's a training from the family as well. Don't say anything.
So hard.
Yeah, and this is a basic training from the family as well, because this train their daughters, don't say anything to your husband. Whenever they said to you, you have to say okay, you obey them. And they get this knowledge from their family and they continue with that. Might be he was very kind with me when I will kind with him.
Buying gifts and everything.
Yeah.
So.
But at the end, it goes against of them.
So it's like you said, it's a very fine line. It's understanding that whether is this control or this is love. So hard, and that's how we don't understand it. Whether I'm being controlled or I'm being loved. Which one is it?
Exactly. With the passage of time, when they realize this thing, the time is gone.
That's it.
That's the problem.
No, but the time's not gone.
No, they thought it. They thought it because they don't know the knowledge. Like I'm living in this country from 17 years. I heard about this organization first time. So that's what I'm saying to you. We didn't know about anything.
So we need to open our
mind.
In English societies, they say open your third eye. I'm not saying open your third eye, but I'm just saying open your mind. Educate yourself and then educate others.
They said you wanted to went on the husbands. I've seen loads of.
That's what I'm saying. There's a fine line, but like you said, there's a fine line that some girls want to, and some girls don't want to. Do you know why? Because they were brought up like that.
Yes. No.
And it's a culture as well. It's like what happened in the house, their own house.
The English culture has now noticed there's loads of changes coming in. Honestly,
Because
loads of the girls saying, we don't want to work, we want to be not in like housewife, we call it in our language housewife, living girls.
Yeah. Homemakers,
or that's what the word you use, living girls or something like that. Even if they're in the relationships or even their husband and I, they said, I'm so happy that my husband is looking after me, even if they're dominating to them. They said, we suck it because we don't want to work.
But if they're happy, that's fine.
Yeah, that's what I said. If they're happy,
there's no problem. The problem is when they don't want to.
I think that happiness is for the short time.
If they're happy and they want that, that's mutual decision between them. But if they are not happy and things like what I mentioned about teacup and consent, that's the difference that you need. That's what you need to understand.
I think one of the things that we have to notice here is that the men who are generally violent tend to have a tendency to be really, really nice as well, to compensate. So what happens is the women then feel that, oh, it's all my fault.
Yeah. So that's why Bushra, your name is Bushra?
Yes.
Yeah. That's why we run the Freedom Program. And the Freedom Program actually educates the women what an abuser is, what a dominator is, and who's the king of the castle. Because sometimes they talk to you in a way psychologically where the woman always thinks it's my fault. Oh, I'm so sorry, I've made a mistake. So you really kind of go into that phase where you're always saying sorry, my fault. But because they make you that way.
Gaslighting.
They make you in a way. They psychologically work on you so much that you always think it's your fault and you've got to please him whatever it takes.
That's what
one of the things that we lawyers always used to laugh about is that no matter how many judges we used to get women with domestic violence, it's more an accident.
That's absolutely.
You're married, looks like it's domestic violence.
Yes.
People laugh about that. Yeah, it's really weird, but yeah, it's true. It's very frustrating for everybody to try to help it.
Yeah, absolutely. It happens all the time. We've got many women who go back, and I've had a case, yesterday I got a new case, a phone call come through. She's, like I said, she's an ex-user. She came to us in 2007. And she said, we got her our house, she's got boys, she was living, she was absolutely fine. And then she found somebody else, and she got married.
Oh, God.
Right, she got married, and she got 2 boys now. And they're very young, and she said, so when I got married, I had to give my house back to the council because they gave it to me. I was single, I had nobody else. So I returned the house to the council and I moved to Leeds. Now, he's very abusive. He hits me and slaps me. And I said, you've gone into the same circle. And, you know, men, sometimes if you share what happened to you in the past with the new partner, they're going to use it against you.
Yeah, definitely.
एक और सवाल है
Never share because you're vulnerable then. You're giving them the choice to.
अपने बच्चों की शादियां करने से पहले हम सारे पेरेंट्स को ये भी चाहिए कि अपने बच्चों से पूछें, ठीक है। अब बहुत सारे लोगों की शादियां हुई हैं जो यही
पोस्ट मैरिजेस
नहीं, अगर लव मैरिज भी हैं लड़कियों की, लड़कियों को भी ये चाहिए कि वो लड़के के सिर्फ एजुकेशन नहीं देखें, उनकी ये ना दे हेल्थ देखनी चाहिए कि ये मेंटली तौर पे भी ठीक है ये, क्योंकि जब वो घर में अब्यूज करते हैं ना या गुस्सा करते हैं तो उनके पेरेंट्स ये बात कह देते हैं ये बहुत गुस्से वाला है तो कोई बात नहीं है। उन पेरेंट्स को ये भी देखना चाहिए हमारे बच्चे को गुस्सा आता क्यों है, इसको कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है। सब कुछ चेक करने से पहले उसका बड़ा खूबसूरत है, कोई वेल मसल्स हैं, ये है वो है, उसको क्या करना है, मेंटली हेल्थ देखनी चाहिए।
She mentioned that I've got so many friends. I call them friends now, obviously because they have gone through domestic violence themselves. Solicitors, dentists, doctors are victims of domestic abuse because professionals you do it too.
Yes. असल में दूसरे ये कि जो भी कोई लोग ऐसे करते हैं वो मेंटली सिक होते हैं। कोई ना कोई प्रॉब्लम कहीं ना कहीं उनकी होती है, उनके पेरेंट्स को भी उनकी हेल्प करनी चाहिए। अगर किसी के साथ कोई ऐसी बात हो गई है सबसे पहले उसको यही कहना चाहिए कि तू जा अपना जाके इलाज करा।
Sometimes it is happen because of something
ये
happened in their
लड़कियों
family.
में भी है, लड़कों में भी है ना।
Yeah, they adopt it from their own family. Something going into their family, and the kids are seeing all these things, and they have.
ACE means adverse child experiences. So when a child, and you can be, a child can be in trauma from the age of 2 months.
Oh my God! Wow.
2 months. Because the neurons in our brain, when you show them the happy faces, 1 billion happy neurons created. So when you show them sad faces and you don't want to, and the child is started to crying, and because you're not giving the attention and you're sad or you're crying, 1 billion negative neurons are created.
Absolutely.
So the age of 2 months, the trauma can start, and that can affect them later on in life.
Yes.
In terms of mental health.
Even when you're pregnant and you're going through it.
Your child picks it up from that age, and we think खावन चोर बचा रहा doesn't matter माँ रो भी रही है ना. A child inside the belly can actually feel the mother crying and the emotion that's going through, and that's how it affects the children. And in that trauma training, when I learned that to understand, and I was like, Subhanallah, we go through so much, and we think, बच्चे ਨੂੰ नहीं पता तो छोटा उन्हें की पता.
Yes, not that. No.
Because we've done it to them. If we're giving them happy thoughts, we are creating 1 million happy neurons. So if we're giving them a sad thought, we are giving 1 million sad thoughts.
Yes. So many culture they treat like a queens in their while the women are pregnant.
Yeah.
And this is a culture is over here as well. I don't want to mention it, but the people they treat their women like princes. They give everything. Everything is in front of them. Is like, and their kids are born with the very happy and very intelligent as well. It's teachers from that time when they are pregnant. So you can understand, and most of the people can understand what I'm saying.
Even it's whatever you eat, drink, breathe,
everything is
He had to live with him for the rest of his life, and he could have either ADHD, autism, or some mental health issues.
Definitely.
And he wouldn't realize it that we created it.
Yes,
We've done it to them. As mothers, as fathers, we've done it to our kids.
So sorry to say, at the end, everything comes on the mother's shoulder. If something happened with the kids, the people that all the family, that's what I'm saying to you. Mostly blame comes on the woman because they are at the home. So that's why they said it's because of you. You treat.
It's the culture.
Yeah,
because that's what the husband has seen in his wife.
Absolutely.
That the husband is suffering himself, and the wives, and the daughters, and the sons. We're all traumatized in one way or another.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I know it's proven by now, medically or whatever, you know. But used to be our parents and grandparents, they say, agar maa happy hoegi, the bachcha bhi happy hoega. That's the same thing you're telling about the neuron, you know. But nowadays, generation go by scientifically or, the other ways. So that's from
We forget, don't we? हम पता है कि हमारी आंखों में पर्दा पड़ जाता है ना. हम जब तक कोई अब तो ऐसी बात होगी है, जाओ अगर इस्लाम की भी कोई बात होगी, जाओ कुरान सुन्ना हदीस सब कुछ निकाल के दोगे तो फिर मैं मानूंगा, या मैं फिर मानूंगी. और नाउअडेज इस्लाम को भी और किसी के भी रिलीजन को भी लेके अब्यूज किया जाता है. इस्लाम ऐसे कहता है तुम ऐसे करती नहीं हो, तुम डिसोबीडिएंट हो, तुम दोज़खी हो, मैं जन्नती हूँ. Nowadays this is another thing. और फिर एक another sexually there is another thing कि इस्लाम कुरान से कि अपनी बीवी को अपने खामन को कहीं से भी you can have relationship and enjoy करो each other को. But there is limits Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in that. But that's what we don't understand. And because of that saying, a lot of women were actually raped. Wives were actually raped because of that saying.
The hadith of the Quran. They will not read the full hadith of
and the translation.
Yes. They
So
will
they're
make
called
all
the
mistake,
hypocrites.
whatever they will.
Whatever is suitable for me, they just apply.
That's it. They are the hypocrites जिनको मुनाफिकीन कहा जाता है, वही बोलते हैं. Okay, so और ऐसे हुआ है काफी सारी लड़कियों के साथ हुआ, they were sexually raped because they thought okay इस्लाम ने इजाजत दी है.
And nowadays children want to follow the Googles, even about the Quran.
Mother and father knows the
which is not right.
By father.
We got.
Downloading on Google, it's all Jew.
Yeah,
all Jewish people.
I have one of my cases. Is that she's 40.
Oh dear. And the mother knew as well.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Sometimes the parents say, "Oh, मैंने
बच्चा
शादी
देख
बचाई
लेगा,
carry on."
Google जो देख लेगा जो उन्हें देखना होगा. जी, mine doesn't explain you. That's the main reason.
I'm really sorry. I'm gonna whiz through it now because, like I said, 2 hours. When I was
not enough.
It's not enough. You're opening a can of worms, basically.
On this topic you can debate all day.
You can do it. You can actually bring. कि ये ना हो फरजाना जी is doing a mixed session. हमने यहाँ लड़ाई की हो गुत्तम गुत्ता एक दूसरे को मर गोरते. We're fighting.
No, we have a separate wall.
You'll have to get a brick, iron wall. नहीं लोहे की दीवार लगानी पड़ेगी. उसे छला मारने में तुझे सलाह खड़ा करती है वहाँ पे.
बातें बुला लो. Aisha, one question. What's the ratio of domestic abuse or violence between men and women? How many? Because 1 in 7
cases.
Because recently, just a few months ago, I wrote a very lengthy article.
I'm going to send you something. Really good information. You can use that.
The information I used, according to that, 93% of women, they were being abused. They were victim of domestic abuse and violence, and 7% men. And there was a bit of difference of opinion with people, and some people said to me, statistics have changed, and also they say that many men, they don't like to report because that goes against their ego and self-respect, so they just keep quiet.
जोड़ू का गुलाम और सारा कुछ everything.
Anyway, it's a very interesting session going on from Saheli Foundation. Saheli Foundation, Saheli Foundation.
Saheli
organization. Saheli organization.
So the reason why women don't go, I'm going to go through and give you some information. The reason that women don't come through is stigma is like माइंडसेट ऑलरेडी हुआ होता है कि भाई नहीं ऐसे नहीं करना, या कम्युनिटी का इशू है, या इस तरह बैरियर्स होंगे इनके साथ, लैंग्वेज बैरियर है, शेम है, फियर ऑफ बाउंटी हंटर, जैसे हमारे पीछे कोई लग जाएगा मार देगा. लॉट ऑफ गर्ल्स देखो हम सारा ट्रैकिंग हुआ होता है, उनके फोन ट्रैक्स हुए होते हैं, गाड़ियों पे ट्रैकिंग लगे होते हैं, ईमेल्स पे ट्रैकिंग लगी होती है, कॉल्स पे लगी होती हैं, इतनी परेशान होती है, घबराई भी होती हैं, वो कहीं जा भी नहीं सकती, वो पहुंच जाते हैं. तो 10 बाउंटी हंटर्स मारने के लिए मार दे उनको, यहाँ भी नहीं जाना, वहाँ भी नहीं जाना, वहाँ भी नहीं जाना. अब्डक्शन ऑफ चिल्ड्रन, बच्चे उठा के ले जाते हैं. एक लेडी का केस था मेरे पास, शी इज बंगाली, been living in the relationship 17 साल हो गए थे. First time she got married, she was raped 23 times by her husband first night. She couldn't go to toilet for 1 week. She stayed in the relationship for 17 years. तो जायदाद के चक्कर में they abducted, the दयाल वालों ने they abducted their own grandson. अपने grandson को अगवा कर लिया था because they wanted her property.
Yes.
Honest to God, it's just horrible. And then they slapped their own grandson. अपने पोते को मारा है माँ के सामने. माँ का तो दिल टूट गया ना. She would just, it's horrible. And the husband is just having a relationship with the maid. बच्ची देख रही है. Getting late for so. मार देंगे. Community से अलग कर देंगे. Threat of life, immigration status. That's a huge one. Lots of बच्चियाँ आजकल तो 10 साल का वीजा रूट है, निकल जाएंगी तो वीजा खत्म हो जाएगा, पीछे भेज देंगे, बच्चों को लेगा, माँ बच्चे सब separate. It's really difficult. Financial support, lack of knowledge. Like अपने का 17 years down the line, you didn't even know we existed.
I'm very surprised.
So if you know somebody is is struggling in a relationship, give them an emergency word. This is really very important that you should all keep a mind on. That if they can't, people are living in there, their phones are being tracked, just give them some information. Kiss code word use kar le. Like we are using a code word ketchup. Where is the ketchup? Pizza delivery. Where's the ketchup? You can't say help straight away.
No.
Use these code words क्योंकि कुछ भी हो सकता है. अगर आप उस कमरे में खड़े हो, मैं यहाँ खड़ी हूँ, फरजाना जी के साथ खड़ी हूँ, I'll say help. उठ के फरजाना जी ठहर जाते हैं. You know?
I know.
You can't even pick up your phone. There's another thing that we do. We on our phones we text 999. It's called text relay service. So you can't pick up your phone to call you like this, to pick up 999 call. That is dangerous because if you're in a situation or our phone उठा के 99 dial करके कह रहे हैं emergency service and somebody sees you, they can grab you. Yeah? Straight away, or anything can happen to you. So if you can go onto your text messages, create a text to 999 and say register. You're all registered to the safe service of text relay. So even if you're walking and you're thinking somebody's following you, If you pick this up, they'll know you're calling somebody.
Yeah.
But if you text the police,
Yeah.
because you're registered, your phone number is registered, you text the police, somebody's following me, and they can come onto the location, they will find your location straight away because you texted and you registered, and they'll come for you.
But there
To
is an
report you.
emergency number where your location will be picked up, isn't it? It's
that-
not 999.
No, if you register with 999, it's a text relay service,
Okay.
and your phone numbers get registered, and your location's shared from that number because they'll put you on wherever you are. And that's really, really good. A lot of girls could go out nowadays, wow, jati hain, sexually rape ho jati hain, maar di jati hain, abducted ho jati hain. So as long as your numbers are registered, school, college, jana hota hai bachchiyon ne. You know, it's really difficult. If you register them, I've registered myself. So if I'm walking myself outside somewhere, going to a public transport, if I've got an emergency, I'll be texting that number. They'll find my location and they know. I'll say I need safety. But if I pick this up, anything can happen. Just this action can make a huge difference. Make sure the girls, whoever you're giving us a number, to have their emergency backpack or leave it at a friend. Like especially a lot of girls आती हैं उनके कागज नहीं होते उनके पास पता ही नहीं एक्चुअली जो नंबर कितने हैं घर का एड्रेस भी नहीं कुछ को तो पोस्ट कोड भी नहीं याद होते उनका लेती हैं. They don't even know that, and Vishnu ji probably know this as well. Others, they don't even have their immigration documents, nothing, passport वगैरह कुछ भी नहीं होता. So make sure if they have all this stuff, put it away in an emergency bag in a friend's house.
Sometimes, you know, the suswara
£10 can pay for a transport for a week. 20 could pay for a woman and a child for a food for a week. 50 could pay for emergency travel, food, mother, child living in abusive relations. 100 could support a woman and children living in winter clothes and stuff like that. So the referral process is quite simple, straightforward. You can self-refer yourself. You can contact us go on our website. You can take pictures of these if you want. Email us help@saheli.org.uk. Give us a call. We can pick you up. We can get you the details. I'll leave that on the screen for you to take a picture if you need to. हाँ pictures लेने आप group में डाल लें.
How did you get the name, Saheli?
Saheli is a dost, is a friend.
No, wait, who?
It was like I said, it's all you. हम आपकी सहेली हैं. हम आपकी दोस्त हैं.
she's saying,
how did you
Yeah, that's at the time of 1976. वो सारी सहेलियाँ थी ना.
Can I just take the picture? Like us, like.
जैसे आप सब सहेलियाँ हो इस दूसरे की.
One of our board members gave the name.
I just wondered when you were
That's all it is. कि हम
We're going to celebrate Women's Day. You all can come. We can talk more about how Saheli originated.
International Women's Day we are celebrating. So I will share some details.
Yeah, we'll share the date with you because it's falling on a weekend. So we have to do something
during the week.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
Yeah, we're going to do a Bollywood night as well. That's like fundraising for a charity.
We're doing
Isn't the 10th?
We're doing it next week,
If
yeah.
it's a March coming up, it's in Ramadan.
Yeah, it is.
The Bollywood night will be after Ramadan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Things will,
Because
it won't be because obviously we're
Yeah.
going to look after everything and everyone and culturally and
Yeah.
religiously
Yeah.
sensitive
And
as
the
well.
children as well. So
School times. We just want to make sure how it accommodates everyone. But we'll let you know. So this is the self-referral. You can, and the professionals actually come to us and we have to send them forms and stuff like that they complete, they send it back to us. So this is for professionals.
Farzana's doing one next week.
Is she?
Yeah, we're doing next week.
Oh, I've seen that one.
You've seen that,
Yeah, I've seen
Is that Women's Day?
International
Yeah.
Women's Day, yeah.
Okay, next week.
Next
I've got the details I'll share with you. So if you've got any questions, which you kind of asked on during when I was presenting. So if any other questions that are burning questions, and I think we've limited with the time
We
as well.
would love to have you for longer and longer, but we're running out of time. It's 1 o'clock now and our session finishes over and we need time to wrap up as well. So I would like to, let's just record this. Just a very small token of thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for coming here and thank you for giving very informative talk with us. And I'm sure you all enjoyed it. You found it very informative, very useful as always our sessions are. Thank you so much once again. And I'm sure everybody's taken the details, the numbers, and I will share the YouTube link as well. And this is posted in next few days' time, and I'll share that with you as well. So thank you once again, and thank you so much to my team for being here, and please, Rina Raja, please come forward. Tina ji, Alia ji, Rusana, Kausar, please come here.
I'm going to share these numbers. Yeah, take these numbers. I did, yes.
Round of applause for Creative Minds Leadership Team, Ravina Raja, Alia, Ruxana, and our Asya ji, and our Kausar, and our lovely Tina ji. She's come all the way from alongside to help. Thank you so much, everyone. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.